Tucker Carlson says he's going to be revealing the truth about aliens as soon as he can prove it. He also doesn't think they're aliens. What am I talking about? Let's jump in. Hi, I'm Patrick. This is Vetted. Hello, Vetters. Hope y'all are having a good Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. Got the Santa hat on. Let's get in the spirit, y'all. All right, let's jump in. If you haven't already, hit that like button. That really helps us out a lot. And, of course, comment down below what you think of Tucker Carlson's comments here. And, of course, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We already passed 3,000, y'all. We're well over it. Thank y'all so much. I was hoping to hit it before the new year, and we are just growing fast. So thank you to all the new subscribers and all the new vetters that are watching. Glad to have you. All right. So these comments by Tucker Carlson were made on a recent interview with Saagar Enjenti on Breaking Points. If you don't know that channel, that YouTube channel, and that show, check it out. It's amazing. It's hosted by Crystal Ball and Saagar Enjenti. Typically, they do political stuff, but Saagar's a big fan of this, and he's someone I personally think should be doing these type of interviews and investigating this. We need someone like him, so happy with this. Now, so the full video of this interview is not out yet, but there's a clip floating around on Twitter because they shared, Saagar shared it with their premium subscribers. So, you know, they got early access. But this clip is super interesting. So let's take a look at it and then we'll discuss it. So right here, let me just read this. It says, Tucker Carlson on the UFO phenomenon. These are not aliens. I think they've been here forever. I think it's likely that the U.S. government has had contact with these, direct contact, over a period of years. There are things about this that are really disturbing. While I hate any kind of government secrecy, I sort of understand why they don't want to let this stuff out. I think it's very clear that there's a spiritual component to this. That's one of the reasons the Vatican has been involved in this for over 100 years. All right, here we go.
My own view is that these are not aliens. There's no evidence that they've come from somewhere else. We would probably know. We've got a lot of technology that's watching what comes in and out of the atmosphere, and there's no evidence of that. I think they've been here forever. This is my view. Again, it can't be proven, but I'm just telling you after a lot of conversations, I think it's likely that the U.S. government has had contact with these, direct contact, and, you know, over a period of years. I find that really disturbing, because and a bunch of other things that are highly distressing that I can't prove, and so I'm certainly not going to throw them out there. And my view is that this is my opinion, that there are things about this that are really disturbing. And while I hate any kind of government secrecy, and if I could prove any of this, I would say it immediately, consequences be damned, I do sort of understand why they don't want to let this stuff out. It's not about, oh, we've got fragments of one of these crafts at a Lockheed, facility in California, and we have biologics from the craft. Everyone knows that that's likely true. Well, it's certainly true that they have the, pieces of this stuff. Yep. But I think it's likely that it's darker than that, and that the U.S. government is, I say the U.S. government, people in the U.S. government, not the U.S. government, but, there are it's the largest human organization in history. Parts of it, have knowledge that is very, very disturbing. And I personally strongly think, that there's a spiritual component to this that I don't understand and will not pretend to understand. But I think it's very clear that there's a spiritual component to this. That's one of the reasons the Vatican, and I'm not Catholic, but has been involved in this for over 100 years, has an observatory, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's pretty obvious that these are not men from Mars. And I think that was a psyop, because I think the truth is a little bit wilder.
That's interesting, right? That's pretty interesting. So, okay. First of all, wow. So what do y'all think of these comments down below, right? He's saying a lot here. Doesn't think they're aliens, think there's a spiritual component to this. They've been in direct contact with the U.S. government for years. They've lived here forever. Thinks the Vatican's involved, right? Because there's a spiritual component. And he also says, right, he will reveal it if he can. He will tell us the truth. I wonder who his sources are. So he doesn't think they're ET in the sense of extraterrestrials. That actually doesn't mean that they're not alien, right? Because alien can mean a lot of different things. But he doesn't think they're coming from another terrestrial planet, right? Or part of the universe. Now, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be a planet, but outside of Earth physically, right? Terrestrially. So, be curious who his sources are. Now, real quick, when he says, hey, they're demons, this and that, spiritual, well, there's a little more information on this. So, UFO Joe on Twitter threw this out there. Okay, so let me just, this is crazy. So he says he tweeted back in October of 22, this tweet, okay? So Greer says, okay, Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer says, folks in black programs engage in Satan worship and interact with troubled interdimensional beings. The writers, otherwise referred to as DOD, to Ray Bosch, folks in black programs get tech from interdimensional beings. Ick, it's a gentleman's name, an author, scientists in black programs get tech from interdimensional beings. My source, I agree. So UFO Joe's source says he agrees with that. So he says, let me make this more clear. I think the writers, the DOD, who told Bosch that folks in black programs are communicating with interdimensional beings and somehow acquiring tech from that interaction are sharing info. That is accurate. Source, I agree. So it's, he's basically saying that people in these programs, right, they're into Satan worship. They interact with these interdimensional beings and then get tech from it and share it because there's a spiritual component. That's nuts, right? And basically what UFOs Joe is saying that different people are saying the same thing, and it all lines up, right? So let me read the rest of this tweet that he put because it's pretty interesting. All right, so this is his response to what Tucker had said, right? Tucker is thinking like a human. If these beings exist, I don't see them as spiritual. I see them as non-physical and existing, residing in an area of the electromagnetic spectrum that we usually can't perceive. But they can also enter this realm too, maybe only temporarily. Demons, angel, jinn, evil, those are human religious labels. I'll borrow an idea from Lou and just say that they're part of the natural world. And if they somehow feed off of humans, and maybe they do it only in order to eat and survive, just like we do with cows, pigs, chickens, fish, etc. Are we evil for doing that? Those creatures may think so, but most of us don't see ourselves as the bad guy. Tom DeLonge has spoken about beings feeding off our negative emotions, and so has David Icke and others. If Tucker really wants to do a deep dive on this, he should have Icke on. Does he have the guts to have such a controversial guest on his show? Or how about Paul Eno, who thinks we're dealing with various types of parasites who feed off of those same emotions? And that explains everything from abductions all the way to possession. So this is nuts, y'all, right? I don't know what to think about all this. There's so many components to this conversation, right? It starts with, are we alone in the universe? No, probably not. There's got to be other stuff out there. Okay, have they visited Earth? Yeah, we've got some craft beings. Okay. And then as you just, right, you start to ask more questions. Now we're into this. Now there's, how is it not just beings from another planet? That seems the most likely to me. I don't know why Tucker's saying there's no evidence of that, but there's evidence of spiritual beings and that we've had direct contact with them over the year. I don't know. This is nuts. This is sort of mixing. I don't know about this stuff, y'all. Right? I don't know about this. So David Icke right here, I went to his Twitter and found it. Apparently he's been talking about, interdimensional hostile spiritual forces for a long time. So right here, he says, amazing how these people are claiming there are hostile interdimensional spiritual forces influencing the human ant farm without a single mention of the man who has been ridiculed for decades for saying this and exposing the detailed evidence in a stream of books and videos. It's an extraordinary lack of respect for the one who dared speak of these things and take all the shit alone for doing so. Now they claim it for their very own nearly 30 years later. Disgusting. Just saying. See my iconic.com documentary today, The Dream. And he tags real Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson, and then he puts in InfoWars. So you know how Alex Jones would always be like, the lizard people. Like, is this where we're coming back to, y'all? I'll be honest. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't know. I don't know about this, y'all. I can't wait to read the comments. I'm so curious. But I don't know about any of this stuff, man. This is just a lot. This is just a lot. This is a lot. I mean, they're feeding off of humans, right? Yeah, I guess that would be terrifying, right? If the president came out and did a press conference was like, look, yes, there are other beings on this planet. They've been here forever and they feed off of us. I mean, that's insanity, right? Like that would be absolute insanity. But what evidence is there of that, right? So I don't know. This is just crazy to me. Again, folks in black programs engage in Satan worship and interact with troubled interdimensional beings. Why troubled? What does that mean? Are there good interdimensional beings, non-troubled ones? Like, how do they know they're troubled? Troubled in our reference, right? For what we see as troubled, or for them it's not troubled? Like, what does that mean exactly? Right? And when they say interdimensional beings, are they seeing them come from another dimension? How can they prove they're from another dimension? Are they saying dimension? Right? Or are we adding dimension because it's right? Like what I don't understand. Like, what does that mean? Interdimension, right? I just don't understand. Like living in the electromagnetic spectrum. What are we talking about? Residing in an area of the electromagnetic spectrum that we can't usually perceive. I don't understand. So, I mean, that's just nuts. So again, but look, this idea that, gosh, guys, I just don't know about this. I just don't understand where we're going, right? You're going to start to see a lot of camps split up and split around. Like yesterday, I was watching this clip about Stephen Greer I hadn't seen before, talking about Luis Elizondo and just saying like he's a, working for the government, disinformation agent, right? Like it's not good. And that's just interesting, right? There's just all this fighting. And how there was supposed to be this meeting between Stephen Greer, Luis Elizondo, Jeremy Corbell, right? A few different people, this debate. It never happened. It's just interesting. You're just going to see a lot of people with a lot of different beliefs now saying different things, right? So what's going to be the main narrative? I mean, now Tucker Carlson, he's huge, guys. He's got a huge following, and he's saying this. But to be fair, let's get him on it. That guy just doesn't let up, regardless of what you think about him personally. He doesn't let up. So let's have him go after it. The more people that look in and present evidence, I'm all for it. And present a story, right? Let's all for it. We can pick it apart after they do that. So I look forward to Tucker Carlson looking into this and, releasing the information. That's what I also like to hear, that he's willing to talk about, release the information and come out with it. Again, we need people like Saagar as well looking into this. So again, we got to put our political viewpoints aside, because clearly, if you really believe in this, this is far larger than any political spectrum or landscape or ideology, right? It goes beyond politics, way beyond politics, the ultimate politics, right, of humanity. So, yeah. Look, you're going to see a lot of different people with different beliefs and morals jump into this field and start covering it and looking into it. We're going to have to decide, right? Do you need to believe and accept everything about that person and their whole life and everything they've said for you to then believe that they'll look into the UFO stuff? Does that make sense, right? I mean, that's kind of a losing battle, in my opinion. To each their own. Of course, you do what you want, but that seems like a losing battle. So I don't know. Y'all, I'm a little worried, where this is going to go. We'll see. how this plays out. But yeah, it's blowing up all over Twitter. Everyone's watching this. I can't wait to see the full interview. Clearly, they'll talk about more than this, but this is quite interesting. So yeah, tell me in the comments, y'all. What do y'all think? Tucker Carlson, they're not aliens, right? They're interdimensional beings. We've been in contact with them. The U.S. government has been in contact with them. Is he saying the black program, right, the people running the special access programs, those are the ones who've been in contact, or leadership? Like from the executive branch, like who are we talking about that has had contact with these beings, right? That he doesn't think are ET or aliens, right? Thinks they're spiritual. So, I don't know. Again, tell me what y'all think in the comments. Please hit that like button, y'all. This will really help out the video. It's Christmas. Come on. Let's go. And again, thank y'all so much for reaching 3,000. Really do appreciate it. Thank you to all the new subscribers and vetters out there. Do appreciate it. So again, y'all, have a great Christmas. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Christmas. I got a video coming out tomorrow. So, all right, y'all. We'll see you on the next video. Remember, every day's a gift. Peace.